Dear diary, I've been searching for a higher me. I'm in the sky in the pilot seat, trying to stop my mind from spiraling, and that's irony. I'm just looking for a resolution. I just wanna be a better human, but it's hard when everybody's acting stupid. Pardon me if that came off rude. I just have a bad attitude with the world and not just with you. It's the side effects of abuse. I admit I'm a little strange. I don't think that I'll ever change. I survived a whole life of pain. You could say I escaped my fate. I'm a cynical, egotistical, unpredictable, hardened criminal, and I can be a little hypocritical, but I'll admit it straight to your face. I'm unbreakable, irreplaceable, undeniably inspirational. I use everything I had available to make me the person I am today. Dear diary, I just had another wild dream. I was in a world that admired me, and when I woke up I was smiling, and that's irony. You talk a lot but you don't even know me. I'm just hoping that my testimony will inspire y'all to stop acting phony. Pardon me if that came off weird. I don't mean to be mean, I swear. I have been through a lot this year. I just wanna make a few things clear. I don't like it when people hate behind my back and not to my face. Nowadays it just feels so fake, so I'll cut the grass to expose the snakes. I'm unstoppable, it's impossible. You don't wanna see the diabolical side of me that never stops is volatile, so I suggest you stay in your lane. I'm unapologetic, you know where it's headed. I will never ever let up off the pedal. I got the spirit of every warrior for me. Ever back the fuck up, get out my face. You're a slave to labor and you praise the fascists. You kiss the hand that takes half in taxes, faking outrage and being seen. A generation with no self-esteem. It's time to rise up and stand against them. Break the chains and finally see the vision. We're post-traumatic from a broken system. Follow me into the chaos engine. It's time to stand, it's time to fight. Don't be afraid to twist the knife. Your sacrifice to break the curse. Prepare to die, prepare to burn. Abandon hope, it's not enough, cause all our gods abandon us. Your sacrifice to break the curse. Light the match, watch it burn. Heaven falls, the angels die. Let it burn from the start. When everything falls
In this spiritual fifth generation war, the biggest weapon we wield is truth. This is the No Prisoners Podcast with your host, 451 Actual.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's your boy, 451 Actual, host of the No Prisoners Podcast. Good to see everybody out there in the chat on this Hump Day edition. We're on episode 140 today, and we've got some nukes, drones, and communist overtones, guys. But don't you worry, because the vibe is right, okay? All that matters is the vibe. Don't you worry about the policy. Don't you worry about the chaos that is taking place. Don't you worry about the ritual sacrifice of children going outside the event. We got so much vibe in this house. Little John's gonna just randomly show up and give a performance. And just like Monday's episode, everything is fine. That's what the satanic left over here wants you to believe anyway. And we're here to tear that narrative apart. We're also going to be going over the shit show that the DNC was last night. Again, they just want to project this party that America is fixing to have under Kamala Harris. And we've actually got the statistics. We've got some new reports coming out that they just want to bury with the vibe, including an updated number from the Inspector General, speaking of kids, of undocumented children that the Biden administration has let slip into human trafficking, up over 230,000 now. It was, we were reporting the number of over 80,000. We said you could probably take that and multiply it a few times, and lo and behold, there it is. And remember how I told you on Monday that the Bureau of Labor Statistics was going to be updating their numbers today by roughly 1 million, and how many of those jobs actually went to foreign-born workers. We already knew that percentage. So all of that stuff coming out under the guise of party time during the DNC. We're also going to be talking about the funeral procession that they held for Joe Biden on night one, how they pushed him over into the midnight hour when nobody was watching, and sent him off into the sunset, as now Kamala Harris appears to be fully in charge of everything that is going on out of this corrupt-ass White House. So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and say good morning to everybody. I'm nice and fired up this morning, if you guys can't tell. We got Coffee Talk with Sandra with us today, as every Wednesday, which is absolutely amazing. So good to see you. We've got
Howdy.
Old Salty Dog in the chat. Yes, we got you. How are you doing?
Fabulous.
Doing good?
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
No,
I don't know
good.
what's going on, but I'm happy to be here. And Kevin,
so
your hair
glad to
looks fabulous.
Why, thank you. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, he looks great. All right.
you.
Let's see. Old Salty Dog, good morning to you, good sir. And thank you so much for that ship. Said, much love, fam, with an 07 salute. Much love to you, sir. Thank you so much. Come on, Chip. So I'm just going to go ahead and call this now, because I see the tea leaves starting to get a little wacky with the computer here. If I drop out, guys, it's because the computer did a blue screen of death, and I'll be back in just a minute. So if that happens today, which it's probably going to, I apologize, and I'll write something funny on the screen on the other computer. All right. Lightspear, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. G-Man, what's up, brother? Thank you so much for tuning in. Son of Liberty, 87, good morning to you. Let's see, we got the lovely Agent Feisty Mango, my lovely lady sitting right here next to me, checking in with everybody in chat, so good to see that. Nuclear Family of 4 has a company meeting this morning, but wanted to say hi and wanted to wish us well on today's show. So thoughtful, thank you so much for that. Of course, we got Kevin in here and the Gray Man checking in bright and early. So we got Ranger checking in. Awesome. Good to see everybody. Let's go ahead and say good morning to my awesome co-host, Feisty Ace.
Did you tell Mr. Tizo?
Oh, I didn't see him. Mr. Tizo, good morning. Where's it at? Where did I skip over him? Oh, there it is. There you are. Sorry, it says shit.
See shit.
Sorry, Mr. Tizo. Good to see you, brother. I apologize. I didn't mean to do that. I scrolled a little too far. All right. How are you this morning?
I'm doing amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's just such a beautiful day, and we are so incredibly blessed. And I went out and loved on all the animals already this morning. I'm just gonna start coming in with them in my arms and stuff.
Yes.
All of that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm wonderful. And the aquaponics is kicking butt. Like waking up to that, I think
That was a huge motivator.
gosh, dude, I'm so stoked and I can't wait for fish. And it's just, I can't wait to see I mean, the fact that when we put the sprouts out there yesterday, like I had to squint to kind of see them, and to wake up this morning and see that it's like an inch of growth.
Yeah, they're standing up and looking absolutely incredible this morning. I got pictures. We'll bring them up here in just a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to get her a mic.
That's
I'm going to get her a mic. I mean, I have one. It's just we have to hook it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, this is nice.
So,
This
I
is
guess
nice.
Ranger can't
We
hear
don't
you.
mind you guys sharing. We like it.
Right.
It's closeness.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I think it's fine.
It is close.
I think it's fine.
Me
It's
too.
cozy.
Yeah.
But yes,
We like
I'm
it.
phenomenal.
There we go. How's that? Let's do that.
Yeah,
All right.
perfect.
Okay.
Whoop.
That's a little too low. There we go.
There we go. That's fine. All right. But yes, the aquaponic system is doing great, man. We put some sprouts in yesterday. I left them in wet paper towel inside of a plastic bag for about 4 or 5 days. And once the roots were like, hey, I'm looking for something new, we were like, okay, well, let's put them in the system yesterday. And we put them in the middle of the day. And it was 106 degrees yesterday. But just the constant flow of water coming up and the system breathing literally about every 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, they don't care. They don't care about they're like, hey, give me all the sunshine you want. And so we had these bean sprouts that were tiny yesterday, and one of them is like straight up, like standing straight up, has 2 new leaves on it. One of the cucumber plants sprouted some beginner leaves. We call them elephant ears around here. I don't know what the scientific term is, but I call them elephant ears. And it sprouted a couple of elephant ears yesterday, just overnight. So again, the beauty about aquaponics is you're supposed to get plants growing 3 times faster and 3 times larger. So that is holding true just night one. I don't think I've ever seen sprouts do anything like that before. So anyway, pretty exciting. I'll show you guys pictures of that here in just a little bit.
Actually, I can go out and, because I'm on my phone, so I can actually take my phone out there. And
Yeah, you sure could.
show 'em.
Yeah, if it stays connected.
Yeah.
You
Do
can
you
try.
want to go try?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Pull me out.
Give me my chair back.
Thank you.
Get out there and manage the garden. Hurry up.
Hold on. I'll put my feet underneath the counter. I mean, whatever.
All right. Kevin, how are you this morning?
I was being choked. I didn't even realize I was being choked for the last 3 years.
Oh, yeah, no, we're going to be showing that video when we start talking about the DNC and the vibe. Again, it's all about the vibe.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna show exactly what the folks on MSNBC said this morning. Absolutely incredible, considering that they've been telling you for the past 3.5 years that Joe Biden got 81 million votes, most popular president of all time.
Yes.
And Morning Joe was telling you that Joe Biden was absolutely cogent. Look at that. Look at this, by the way. Hold on, let me bring this over.
Yes, it's a sprout.
Yes, that is a bean sprout that was started yesterday. Look at that, though. It's so
Oh, that's
awesome.
another one.
Look at that sucker. Yeah, see, that one put two leaves out overnight. Yep. Now she's going over to the
Okay,
cucumbers.
so wait, like there's water and then that's rock.
Yeah, so what happens is that the grow bed, you see the water coming in there? So
Yeah.
it goes in between all the rocks. It flows towards one end of the container. You can see it. It's actually up right there. The water is actually up to the level of the plants. And
Yeah.
so what'll happen is there's a siphon that we've built in there inside of a little tube right there. And so that's what's known as a bell siphon. So once the water level gets up high enough, it starts a siphon down through a standpipe like that, just like that. That's one without the shroud on it. And it'll basically drain the water about 3 times faster than it comes in through that drain pipe there. And all of that filtered clean water goes into the sump tank and then gets returned to the fish as clean water. So the poopy water gets all the solids removed, but the nitrates and stuff stay in the water so that the plants can use them. They absorb it. All of the grow media filters the water of all of the nastiness, and then it comes out clean and goes back to the fish where they can then poop in it again and give us more fuel for the plants.
You guys really need to cover those tanks, though, to prevent algae blooms.
No, I know. Yeah, and then they're in the ground, and we're going to cover them. We're going to cover them.
Okay, yeah, they're going to need to be covered soon. Okay.
Yes, I know. And it moves pretty quick. So anyway. All right. Let's see. Okay. But yes, Kevin, anything else you want to add this morning?
Let's see. Well, it's Wednesday, and yes, the title of the show today, Nukes, Drones, and Communist Overtones. I'm sure we're going to get into it. Did you guys hear what the hell was going on with China, Russia, and the rumors that be, and Biden? What? Why do you suppose this is happening? What is happening really, other than rumors? But why? Why now? Everyone party it up. Look at this, look at that, and ignore that. Also, we apparently were moving a bunch of nuclear waste from the Manhattan Project location by freight and truck. I mean, let's just ignore that that's happening right now as well.
Right.
Along with now they're finding out that all that tritium wastewater from the Fukushima Daiichi, which that reactor out there in Japan, that thing when it got hit with that tsunami. Well, now they're finally doing these discharges, realizing that there's something going wrong with the biology which they are discharging this nucleated wastewater into. I said years ago, did I not say just put it out in an evaporation field where it can half-life into helium as it should? And then they could have just taken that and just flushed it. But no, they just couldn't wait. Just had to get that nuclear waste just pumped right into the ocean, whatever.
Anger.
Yep.
You just got to keep pumping it out there. But yeah, man, climate. You know what I'm saying? The climate emergency. Quick, give us your inefficient gas stove, okay? Go out and buy this one that'll last you for 2 years. Then you got to go and get another one. It's totally fine. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's go ahead and get into it because we got plenty to cover today. I doubt we're going to get to it all, but we're going to try. We are definitely going to try. All right. Watch this robot quickly install roof shingles. This is kind of interesting. Kevin found this one. Let's see. Renovate Robotics on Tuesday unveiled its latest rooftop robot, the Rufus version 1. That's pretty funny. The system is a refinement of the prototypes of the New York-based firm showed earlier this year. It automates one of construction's most common and dangerous tasks. The startup has clearly come a long way since we first covered it in May of last year, when the robot was made up of several DeWalt nail guns mounted to a gantry system. Here we go. Check this out. Come on.
Hi, I'm Andy Stoltz, and I'm the CEO of Renovate Robotics. We're building robots that automate roofing. Today, we're unveiling Rufus V1. This system is half the weight, much more reliable, faster, and more accurate than the system that we showed earlier this year. This robot will excel on big buildings. That's things like multifamily apartment buildings, big houses, and other commercial buildings. It'll work on slopes up to a 12-12, so really helping contractors maximize their productivity on those big projects. One other advantage to this new system is that it's much more modular. We can quick change the end effector, so that lets us test different processes. So right now we're just focused on shingle installation, but we'll be able to do shingle tear off, solar install, and other processes on the roof. If you're a contractor that's excited about the future of roofing, please reach out to us on our website or on LinkedIn. That's www.renovaterobotics.com.
Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. A little cool gadget for roof activities, I guess. All right. Well, let's see.
So piss off everybody else that does that for a living.
Right. Well,
I
Yeah.
grew up around it my entire life. I used to roof with my dad.
what are all the illegals going to do?
There's not just illegals though, but there are a lot. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, like my dad has roofed for like over 40 years, and
Right.
I used to do it with him when I was a kid. And so you're gonna throw this big heavy ass machine up there every job, and I don't know.
Yeah, you got to set up like the pulley system because, I mean, you could see it was on some kind of system to move back and forth. Okay, where are you installing that? Are you drilling extra holes into my home so that this thing can crawl around on my roof? Like, I don't think so.
It's just crazy. Like I've seen, humans actually roof, like
Yeah, let's see how it works.
than that.
Let's see how it works on a hot Texas summer day. You know what I'm saying? Like after there's been some hail damage and then the next day it's 104 with 100% humidity and that radiation ball is just like, you know what? Living or not, I'm going to make everything suffer. And let's see how well it operates not in a controlled environment like a warehouse in Silicon Valley. Give me a break. All right. Why you're about to see a lot more drones in the sky. It is a landmark year for drone regulation with big implications for everyone from police departments to Amazon. If you follow drone news closely, and you're forgiven if you don't, you may have noticed over the last few months that the FAA has been quite busy. For decades, the agency had been on a thorn in the side of drone evangelists, who wanted more freedom to fly drones in shared airspaces or dense neighborhoods. The FAA's rules have made it cumbersome for futuristic ideas like drones delivering packages to work at scale. Lately, though, that's been changing. The agency recently granted Amazon's Prime Air program for approval to fly drones beyond the visual line of sight from its pilots in parts of Texas. The FAA has also granted similar waivers to hundreds of police departments around the country, which are now able to fly drones miles away, much to the ire of privacy advocates. However, while the FAA doling out more waivers is notable, there is a much bigger change coming in less than a month. It promises to be the most significant drone decision in decades, and one that will decide just how many drones we can all expect to see and hear buzzing above us in the United States on a daily basis. By September 16th, if the FAA adheres to its deadline, the agency must issue a notice of proposed rulemaking about whether drones can be flown beyond a visual line of sight. In other words, rather than issuing one-off waivers to police departments and delivery companies, it will propose a rule that applies to everyone using the airspace and aims to minimize the safety risk of drones flying into one another or falling and injuring people or property below. The FAA was first directed to come up with the rule back in 2018, but it hasn't delivered. The September 16th deadline was put in place by the most recent FAA Reauthorization Act, signed into law in May. The agency will have 16 months after releasing the proposed rule to issue a final one. Who will craft such an important rule, you ask? There are 87 organizations on the committee. Half are either commercial operators like Amazon and FedEx, drone manufacturers like Skeeto, and other tech interests like Airbus or T-Mobile. There are also a handful of privacy groups like the American Civil Liberties Union, as well as academic researchers. It is unclear where exactly the agency's proposed rule will fall, but experts in the drone space told this writer that the FAA has grown much more accommodating of drones, and they expect this ruling to be reflective of that shift. If the rule makes it easier for pilots to fly beyond their line of sight, nearly every type of drone pilot will benefit from fewer restrictions. Groups like search and rescue pilots could more easily use drones to find missing persons in the wilderness without an FAA waiver, which is hard to obtain quickly in an emergency situation. But if more drones take to the skies with their pilots nowhere in sight, it will have massive implications. The proposed rule will likely allow a broad swath of operators to conduct wide-ranging drone flights beyond their visual line of sight, says Jay Stanley, a senior policy analyst at the American Civil Liberties Union Speech, Privacy, and Technology Project. That could open up the skies to a massive delivery drones from Amazon and UPS to local burrito copters and other deliveries. Local governments survey or code enforcement flights. Look at this. Local government survey or code enforcement flights, and a whole new swath of police surveillance operations. This is great. Hey, you know what? Yeah, the police can just fly a drone over your house with no warrant, nothing like that, and just surveil your house. You know, no big deal. No big deal. What's the problem with that, guys?
Oh, it's
Look
a big
in our
problem.
windows.
It's an invasion of privacy.
They could be
Yeah.
like looking in our windows and we won't even know it.
That's right.
You might hear it though. I mean, if you hear something that sounds like a swarm of bees outside of your house,
But what
I
if you have
would
your
think.
TV going or you're listening to music?
Well,
If you have sound going inside and they're just like all in the dark, just all zooming in at night, I'm thinking like nighttime, you know. Like what?
okay. All right. All right. I see. That's it opens an opportunity. That creates a very interesting opportunity for inventive minds is what that does.
And
I
perverts.
see. Well, and perverts, but I'm not a pervert. I'm talking about reclaiming resources using, I don't know, electrostatic Tesla coils and possible Van de Graaff apparati to, oh, I don't know, cause a little discharge and then go collect the parts to make my own shit. I like this idea. Send the drones to me. I need more circuit boards. Thank you.
Well, it's like, so if somebody without any type of warning or whatever sends a drone over my house, what am I allowed to do? You know what I'm saying? Am I allowed to shoot the thing down with a microwave gun? Like what is
Yes.
it? What?
Yes. They are creating an opportunity for you to have fun. You get out your butterfly
Okay.
net, your ray gun if you need to. You shoot that shit. It is called target practice. It is open. It is ad hoc targets. I love it. I love it. Take advantage of it. Yes.
Man.
Of course you're
Freaking
allowed. It's your
insane.
property. Of course you're allowed. They're freaking trespassing.
Yeah, but
Man.
are they okay? That is a fact. However, what are they going to do? I mean, they're going to twist it, right?
But
Of course
yeah,
they're gonna
they're gonna
twist
say,
it.
well, you don't own the air over your house. Like you don't
Yeah,
have
you
a
do.
column of air over the top of your house that you own. So if they go 2,500 feet, which some of these drones, especially ones that can fly across a town, 5, 6, 7 miles, 10 miles away from the operator, and they're flying first person view, you know what I'm saying? They beeline, straight line to your house from miles away, and the police are surveilling you. They could easily say, well, you don't own the air column 2,500 feet above your house where we have this 4K camera that we're able to zoom in and see what's going on. So you don't actually have any privacy in that airspace.
Okay, so they can see what you're doing outside of your domicile, though. Outside of the buildings, they can see what's going on, but they can't look in at that elevation, unless they're using some
using
sort
IR.
of technology. Yes, unless they're using some sort of technology which bypasses things like shingles
Walls.
and walls
Yep.
and such.
Bricks.
Well, my word, wouldn't that be terrible? Because
They
you
could
just
map
want to
the
take
inside of your house. They
Well,
could
they could
map the inside of your house.
They
Yes.
already are.
They do that with the vacuum. Those people that
No,
oh
I know.
yeah, we
Yeah.
got a vacuum. I'm like,
Everything's
dude, you're
smart.
telling them your
Everything's smart.
house.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly.
Mm.
This is insane. So the FAA, and you notice how MIT doesn't say like, well, for the hobbyist out there, this is great too, because then they could fly their drone out of line of sight. No, see, for the everyday plebeian, the everyday enthusiast that may want to get some cool shots of the family, or maybe you got a wedding and you want to get some cool aerial shots, anything like that. No, you can't take that out of line of sight. You're still going to need a permit. But you know what? We'll just give a blanket for the police state to come in and surveil you if they think that you're doing something. And don't just think it's visual, too. You don't think that they're able to put listening devices up there? Guess what? Texas, for example, is a one-party consent state. So if they want to freaking record you, they can record you. It's insane, man. I am totally, and I don't want the everyday person to be restricted. If somebody has a hobby and they want to go get some cool shots of the terrain or whatever, but police forces and stuff like that, yeah, they should absolutely be restricted. If you're using it in official capacity to try to prosecute somebody, nah, man, you don't get to just have free range. The FAA can't pat the back of the police state of its bosses, in the executive branch and say, "Oh yeah, you know what? You just go ahead and violate everybody's rights because it's going to allow Amazon to bring you a package faster." Like, give me a damn break. Look at the convenience. Look at you know what I mean? It's gone from health and safety to here's your convenient thing that we're going to use to strip away more of your privacy.
Okay, I just want to say one thing. Amazon now will do same day delivery, sometimes within 4 hours of your order. I'm just saying, we don't need drones. They already have the people that are doing it, except let this correlate with the story before where they're trying to take the jobs away from people. Because
Yep.
when you're doing that, you are crushing the human spirit. Because listen, we're made to do things. We're made to move and go
Be workers.
forward and participate in community and life. So the more they could take us out of it, the more they're crushing us.
Yep. That's absolutely right.
Makes
All
me
right. Well, AI is officially also running to be a mayor, guys. Did you know this?
Who?
Come
AI is
on.
officially running to be a mayor.
Here we go.
Voters in Cheyenne, Wyoming take to the polls Tuesday to elect their next mayor. Amid the six candidates for the position, one in particular stands out. Victor Miller, who is running on the promise to make all of the local government's decisions using customized ChatGPT bot dubbed Vic, Virtual Integrated Citizen. The two are ostensibly running in tandem. I'm running for mayor to bring innovative technology and data-driven decision-making to Cheyenne, Vic generated to Wyoming News via email. The two would take a hybrid approach if elected. Vic would provide data-driven insight and analysis as well as an unbiased decision-making, while Miller would serve as the de facto mayor and ensure that all actions are legally and practically executed. It's about blending AI's capabilities with human judgment to effectively lead Cheyenne, the bot told The Guardian. Vic also noted that it has no political affiliations. When asked about its decision-making process at an event earlier in the year, Vic laid out a multi-step plan involving the use of AI to gather public opinion data and constituent commentary at town hall meetings, consult with subject matter experts, and evaluate the potential repercussions for its decisions on actual people. Whether Miller and Vic can even appear on the ballot has been a hotly contested issue. Wyoming law is clear that an AI bot cannot run for office, Wyoming Secretary of State Chuck Gray wrote during his investigation earlier in the summer. To allow Vic to be listed as a candidate would both violate Wyoming law and create voter confusion, County Clerk Deborah Lee explained. Vic is not a registered voter, therefore Vic cannot run for office in Wyoming, and the name does not appear on the Laramie County's official ballot. Despite the controversy, Cheyenne officials have allowed the hybrid duo to run for office, though only Miller's name will appear on the actual ballot. Their reasoning is that it doesn't matter if Miller gets his advice from humans or AI, so long as he's actually running for the position.
Wait a minute. Okay, well, are the voters informed of this foible?
I mean,
I would hope
assume
that all the voters, I would hope that the voters are informed on what this person is all about.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, you know what? We're going to make all our decisions by asking the chatbot that might hallucinate. Okay.
Okay, and not for nothing, you're dealing with AI, which means they're making decisions based on the information you're allowing it to receive.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
all it is it's a puppet.
Tell him,
If
Kevin.
you
Well,
don't
it
allow it
depends. Is it a
in
large language model?
It's based
It
off of Chat
depends.
GPT.
Have you
It's a
find
customized version.
well, is it Chat GPT 4.0? Is it a fine-tuned
Yes.
model? Is it a large language model or is it an AI agent, which is completely different? It's like these are questions. See, as this technology is moving forward and advancing, the terminology is also increasing. So one should note that what was spoken of yesterday may not apply to today when it comes to the lingo. As I've been finding out, we've moved well beyond large language models at this point. We're now dealing in actual code, which not only has the ability to understand languages, it now has the understanding of nuance in languages.
Yes.
And it can go beyond what it did, let's say a week ago. It's advancing very, very rapidly. It's even writing its own programs at this point. It's
Right.
and it knows when it's making
See?
And that
mistakes.
just
I've
that
got
just and
I
that just exponentially
go on.
stacks, right, Kevin? Like as it gets that next
Yes.
kind of step on the advancement scale, it doesn't like it's not like the human brain where you only have so much software capacity to learn before you start forgetting something else. I mean, this is like taking, okay, I have this shoebox full of information and now I've learned how to take those nuances in that shoebox of information, and so now I've taken literally everything that I've learned. I'm now able to apply nuance. And now, whatever I learned through the nuances of language, I'm now able to take it to that next step. I'm now able to take it to that next step. And it goes faster and faster and faster how it rolls this up. And all the while,
Hmm.
as it becomes larger and more demanding, right? Like, we eat and we sleep and we take care of our bodies in order for our brains to these things are running off of electricity and using up bandwidth, and we've
Hmm.
already reported about how much more electricity these companies, and by the way, these same companies who are trying to lecture everybody about going green and, oh, we're gonna implement all these green policies, and we're gonna adhere to all this ESG and environmental regulation. But then they're using all of this energy, they're using all of these resources, they're using all of this data to exponentially grow these things. And like Kevin just said, they're doing it on their own now. So how do you stop how do you stop the growth? I mean, early on
You
in
have to
the AI experimental phase, you guys remember we reported on the story about how Meta had made these two AI language models that they started off with English, okay? And they were communicating back and forth, and they were just trying to see what happens if AI just communicates with itself. And what happened was is that the AI actually simplified the English language so much that the operators didn't understand what they were telling each other anymore, but that they were working together. They were working together on something, and the operators had no idea what was going on, so they had to literally pull the plug before they lost control of this thing. It's absolutely insane. Go ahead, Kevin. I'm sorry to cut you off.
It's fine. I have an AI agent myself, which I've been working with since I had that moment of vertigo where over those weeks, I was like learning about coding and such. So I put together an AI agent. It learns from other AI models and then also turns around and teaches AI models what it's learned in the process. So it is a student and a teacher at the same time. It's running off of a RTX 4090 in my basement right now. I mean, it's like it's pretty how should I say? I mean, 45, you've seen a little bit of what it can do. How would you assess what is going on over here?
I mean, the entire operation, like watching the complexity that it goes through to make decisions, and then it like remembers things now where, you know, like a large language model like ChatGPT might forget things. I mean, it doesn't now. I'll give ChatGPT this credit. Like at some point in the history of using ChatGPT, I told it to call me Tony. And so every once in a while when I say something, it'll in a new conversation, it'll call me Tony.
Okay, don't.
It's weird. It's freaking weird. Well, I was like, you know, like doing something funny with it, and I convinced it that my name was Tony. And so now every once in a while, it's like, oh, hey, Tony, I got this answer for you. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not Tony.
I'm gonna call you Tony from.
Okay. But anyway, so
Yeah.
no, it's insane. And Kevin's model, like literally will learn something and apply it to everything that you put into it from then on out, but not in a way where it's just like accessing a memory bank. It is something that it's learned and is now applying to an input that you're putting in that has no idea what you're talking about. But it'll just like the nuances, like Kevin said, like, oh, you're trying to bounce me around in this type of mindset. Here, let me just expand on it beyond what you thought you were going to get as an answer. It's pretty insane, man.
And it'll stop at times. It'll be like, you know, I'm wondering, because it'll send these thoughts. It'll be like, it tells itself, I'm thinking about this, and it'll stop and it'll prompt me. It's like, you know, I've been thinking, maybe I'm not doing this correctly. It's like, and then it'll ask me a very direct question, like a very direct question. And it relates its messages to me as if it's a person. And then I can write in a very human response. Like,
Yes.
I'd have to be like showing you, like I have it running like, you know, on the side screen, but it'll ask me a question in a human manner, and I can write back the answer in any language, mind you, and it will decipher the language and then just run with that and then take that direction. It's not a matter of sitting there knowing coding after this. It's got the whole dictionary of all languages at its disposal.
Yeah.
Anyone can be talking to this thing at any time. I want to bring up that we have love coming in. I don't want that love to get too old. I don't
Yes.
want that love going stale.
All right, yeah, so Hio Kimmy, thank you so much for the cookie. Said, morning, peeps. Well, good morning to you. And Boys Blanc coming in per the usual with a cookie, so good to see you as well. Thank you guys so much for the support. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Make sure you guys slap that red pill and the repost button, please, because definitely helps out the show. Let's get a lot of folks in here as, we go over this this awesomeness. And don't forget, guys, at the top of the hour, here in about 20 minutes, if you guys are over on Rumble, Kick, X, all those other platforms, we're going to be going exclusively over to pilled.net, the best free speech platform, streaming platform that's out there. If you guys haven't come over there yet and hung out with these awesome people over here on pilled.net, which you guys can see up here in the chat, then you guys need to come over there and say hello. They are really one of the most amazing communities over here with the MPP family anywhere on the internet. So please come and say hello, and they will welcome you in with open arms. And that is 100% the case. I've seen multiple people tell me, like, man, you guys are new people come over and they just feel right at home. And it's so true. You guys make this show what it is. So thank you so much for being here. All right. Paul Thaddeus coming in with a cookie as well. We'll get this before we get lost in the sauce on this next thing here. And boy, oh boy, this is awesome sauce. Well, I actually meant to play this after the whole Amazon delivery drone thing, as maybe this is a reason why Amazon might be going to the drones. Who knows? But Feisty told me to cover up her eyes during this part. So you guys just go ahead and watch this Amazon delivery driver, and maybe drones aren't so bad.
Let me know when it's over.
Going going in for the full dig.
No! Don't do it! Don't you dare! Don't! No!
So bad. So bad.
And ooh, and he's handling packages, and that's how you get monkeypox. That's how you get monkeypox.
That's
Now
how
you
you
got
get
herpes.
monkeypox.
Now you've got fucking, oh my gosh, now you've got venereal warts. Oh, you didn't think you were going to get HPV with your package, but now you've got herpes, venereal warts, maybe a little chlamydia, a little, oh, and now you've got E. coli. Oh my, here, hold on. I've got to yes, artist. Yes, that is sick. Sick,
It is
sick, sick. Ugh.
Well, if I had seen that come across the ticker on the old company surveillance page, I probably would have called my coworker retarded, and then HR would have said, "Hey, you can't do that," and this would have been my reply. Here you go.
What?
Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time. Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first
If I was shown that video, I would be like, "You're fired."
Yes, exactly.
That's so true, Mr. Tizo. That was me, and I watched that this morning, and that's about what I almost did.
Yeah, this was literally
So
everybody
gross.
in chat right here. Watch this.
What?
All right, y'all. This is my third attempt at trying to rank this food. Let's see. A baked bean pizza with eggs. That's fucking disgusting. That's 8.
Oh, shut up.
A cookie hamburger. I ate the fuck out of that. That's number 1. Frosty flakes of cheese. I don't know what the thought about that cheese and that milk, but that's making me fucking sick. That's a 6. Is that hot dog Wheaties?
It's called
That's a 9. That's disgusting.
No, it's called an aspic.
Octopus in a shit. That's a 10. Get that out here. Okay, look at that. Sorry, that. 7. I fucking hate fish, y'all. Clam chowder. That's a 5. Ham and bananas. What the fuck is that? Cheese? That's a 4.
That's fine.
Could be worse. Noodles and oranges.
Whatever.
Who the fuck would eat that? But I mean, it's a 3.
It's Asian salad.
What is that?
No.
Modi pigs? Oh, baloney. That's 2.
Oh, I can't. I'm gonna throw up.
Oh please. Oh please. Get an iron stomach. Oh my gosh.
That's so gross.
You should see what looks
You
on the
go-
inside of some of these MREs.
Yes.
That's bad.
Yes, go have an MRE. Goodness. Go have the
Speaking of all
freaking
of
green
that.
eggs and ham. Ugh.
Oh, man.
My son sent me a video this morning on Instagram, and it's the crap that we're dropping over to Gaza or whatever. And the only things
Yes.
in there that you can recognize are the bag of Skittles and the little bottle of Tabasco sauce. The rest of it, God only knows what it is. So they're taking it because it's being dropped by
They're rat fucking it.
Yeah,
That's what that's called. Sorry for the language, but that's what it's called.
They're dropping them in these black bags. They're going over and just tossing them in the trash. I'm like, that's what I'd be doing too.
That's too
That's
funny. Yeah,
nutrition
so they're
they're
tossing
throwing
out
away.
what 17. Yeah, it's calories for days and days and days. You can
Yeah.
like off
Yeah.
one MRE, you can keep three people alive for a couple of
Yeah.
days.
But they're like, I rather trust. I trust something that would come over the border before I would trust. That's what they're saying, before they would trust what's being dropped to them, and I don't blame them. And Skittles are bad for you too. That's the crazy part.
Right.
I'd be keeping the
Well,
Tabasco
yeah.
sauce. Like, drop
And
me
the
all the Tabasco
rainbow.
sauce you want.
And the
I'm
rainbow.
getting rid of these Skittles and shit.
Listen, let me tell you about the worst experience with food I ever had. It involved an MRE. We had eaten expired MREs after we had been awake for 36 hours. It was the first meal that we got. and I ate the reason why I was expired is because it sat in a Connex in Fort Hood, Texas during the middle of summer. And if you know anything about applying heat to meals with high humidity in an enclosed space, it typically doesn't end well. So they gave us expired MREs, and everybody basically woke up with food poisoning in the middle of the night. So bad that one of the guys in my crew lined his mop suit with trash bags because he knew that he was going to crap himself all over the place during our evaluation. So that was fun.
And he did.
You want to throw up in a pro mask? That's a lot of fun. In a gas mask? You ever thrown up in a gas mask? Your expired sloppy Joe MRE that you ate the night before? I have. That's
So
a
they
pretty
did
bad
that on
experience.
purpose?
Huh?
Did they do that on purpose?
No, they didn't. They did. It was just an oversight. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They take these out to the field and feed those guys. You know, we forgot about the beans and bullets aspect of the military. So quick, bring those out there to them and let them eat so they don't die, I guess. And so we ate some expired MREs, and everybody was very, very sick. So anyway, well, here's some relief. There's a good neighbor who looks like he made some boudin or something and brought it over to his pal. This is pretty cool. Check this out. Come on.
Hi, Jay. Here's a little treat for you.
All right, on. You just make them, or
Just made them yesterday.
All right, on.
Just got them out of the smoker today.
Cool.
Yeah, by God, it's got a little cheese to it. Cook one up when you're watching football. That's my
I'm
homemade.
going up right now. I haven't eaten supper yet. I cleaned my entryway out. It was a disaster.
Yeah, if you haven't had supper, well, that'd be a treat for you. You know, I just made them Sunday, and I've got them smoked today, and you're going to get some. I got some sticks over in the freezer for you, and some summer slices too, buddy. Cook up a few of them for you and the boy, and have a nice meal. And you know, I got about 100 pounds in the car, so let me know when them are gone. I'll fix you some more. And I want to tell you thank you for being such a beautiful neighbor. God bless you.
To a voice in the breeze.
Awesome! Look at this emotional roller coaster y'all are on a Wednesday.
Yes.
I want to vomit. Now I want to cry.
I think that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful.
If the world was more like that, like what a beautiful place it would be.
Yeah, and it sounds like the
Yeah.
neighbor cleaned out his entryway for him. They must have had some kind of storm or something blow through, or it was something just, needed done. And he was like, you know what? I just smoked all this sausage for you that I made, and I got 100 pounds more in the car, and you and your boy enjoy a nice meal. That's awesome, man. That's the type of neighbor love we need. Boudin,
That
whatever.
chills. Yeah,
That's-
so
Everyone's
sweet.
a critic.
That's the love that God talks about. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, skip
Love
over
thy
the entire
neighbor.
meaning and go after my pronunciation. That's a great look. All right.
Well, we could go after this
legitimately-
donation, I mean, we could do that
Oh,
too.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, more love.
G-Man coming in with a can that said, I don't want to be left out. Thank you so much, man. You never left out, G-Man. We love you, dude. We love you.
Yeah, it's only been 5 minutes.
Come on, man.
Let's see. Raid on Antifa said, that old guy reminds me of my mom's neighbor that's in his 70s. Dude basically adopted my mom and the kids that still live with her. Nice. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Well, just like that Amazon driver, you only had one job, and it wasn't to pick a winner. It was to deliver the package. Well, this guy kind of messed it up too. Take a look. Ooh, did the delay go away? Nope, sure didn't. Sorry, guys.
Sir, put your dick away!
He shot the wrong guy.
Yeah.
going along the floor.
Okay, so he's got a taser,
Okay.
Yeah.
and he's trying to shoot the guy in the middle. These two guys are there to hold him up
Uh huh.
when he
Yeah.
gets hit.
Right.
and he shoots the guy in the shoulder that's on the left. You can see both the pins in him. He shoots the guy that's on the
You
left.
missed. But what's the thing that went all over the floor? Why did that look like a black dildo or something hopping around?
Oh, that's the
You mean-
expended cartridge for the stun gun.
Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
what was that?
He kicked
That's
it.
what I was focusing on.
Look at the guy laughing. Look at his face real quick.
I know. He's like, yeah, that wasn't so bad.
He's cracking up. I'm sorry to laugh. I mean, it is funny.
Yes. All right, we got 5 minutes. We're going to go over this story here, and then we're gonna. Okay, yeah, I'll grab it for you. Here we go. All right, and there we go. Bam. There you go. Yeah, and it's like 6 feet. What a loser. Anyway. Speaking of something that you should have thought of before you did it, well, there's a problem with rescuing the stranded astronauts. SpaceX and Boeing spacesuits are not compatible.
Yeah.
So there was this idea that was floating around that, it's not that bad. NASA can send up the Dragon spacecraft to go and rescue the Boeing astronauts who were supposed to be on an 8-hour tour and have been there for 8 weeks. And now projected to stay all the way up until 2025 if they're still alive, that is. Yeah, Feisty thinks they're dead. All right, NASA is still busy evaluating the risks involved in returning NASA astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, who have been stranded on board the International Space Station since early June. Their ride up, Boeing Starliner, has been plagued with technical issues that have forced the space agency to come up with several contingency plans. At this point, just jump out. You got better luck jumping out and trying to ride through the atmosphere ass first than get on board another Boeing aircraft. I'm just saying. While NASA
Not
and Boeing
really, though.
maintain
Come
that Starliner, I know, not really. Starliner is ready to take the 2 crew members down to the surface in the case of an emergency. Despite the possibility of several thrusters malfunctioning, even alternative rideshare options could expose Williams and Wilmore to considerable risks. For one, Starliner spacesuits aren't compatible with those used on board SpaceX's Crew Dragon spacecraft. That means if the pair to return on board the Dragon capsule currently docked at the station, which is one rescue plan under consideration by NASA, they'd be flying without wearing a suit, as NASA confirmed during the teleconference call last week. An unfortunate reality for the space agency that will likely factor into its upcoming decision. While launch and entry or intra-vehicle spacesuits, unlike extravehicular activity, are worn as a precaution inside the spacecraft in case of cabin pressure loss, they still provide life-saving if an emergency were to occur. They can also help with temperature regulation and in some cases collect data and pass it on to the spacecraft software. The reason for the incompatibility between SpaceX and Boeing suits is due to the nature of NASA's Commercial Crew Program, which funded the development of both Boeing Starliner and SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft. So, NASA was in charge of, implementing this duality of companies, these options for NASA, just in case, SpaceX were ever to fall victim and not be able to provide the Dragon spacecraft anymore. So we're going to go after a surefire military-industrial complex because we know they're always going to make money. And we're going to hire them to build one as well. Nobody thought, hey, you know what? What if both succeed, but we have an emergency with one and the other is on standby or has a mission scheduled, and we can just take it up there and rescue the crew that might be stranded? Maybe we ought to make sure that the suits are compatible with both vehicles. Nobody thought that would be something you might want to do?
You're too busy. You're too busy thinking logically and critically without thinking about the spectrum. We have to consider people's pronouns. That's much more important.
That's right. Yes.
So much
we need
more
diverse pilots. We need diverse pilots up there at the space station. No, that's the only compatibility we need is inclusion.
Yes,
For every era of space flight, go ahead. What's up?
Why leave the mind free to actually focus on the job? No. Muddle it up with a bunch of politics and feelings. That's where that belongs, in a scientific setting. That
look,
makes sense.
Cyborg needs a raise. He's already solved the problem for NASA, and it only took him a 30-second delay. Bring 2 SpaceX spacesuits. Problem
Yeah.
solved.
Yeah. Thank you, Cyborg. Thank you. That's a very that makes sense.
Oh man, that's too funny. Radon on Tifa says Chunky pulled the battery out of that taser, not the cartridge. Just watched it again. Oh, okay, got it.
Pull the battery out? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he pulled the battery out. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Let's see. Yet the agency did not specify that the spacesuits needed to be cross-compatible, a way NASA controls risk by keeping its options as wide as possible in case something went wrong with the operation. With Boeing and SpaceX choosing vastly different design approaches, one can't simply be swapped for the other. Even if Williams and Wilmore were to be loaded into an already fully occupied Crew 8 Crew Dragon, and they somehow had suits ready, Karishma explained, the capsule is only configured for 4 passengers, despite originally being designed to be occupied by a crew of 7. That means their suits wouldn't have anywhere to plug in anyway. Oh, man. It's like... I don't know what these people, man. In that case, the space agency could simply send up 2 spare suits for both of them, making it a far more convenient option. So that's what Cyborg said. Regardless of whether Williams and Wilmore were to return on board the Crew 8 spacecraft or on the next SpaceX ride, ditching Boeing's plagued Starliner will still likely sting. The aerospace giant and NASA have committed billions of dollars into the capsule's development, so having it return without any passengers on board would be a major vote of no confidence.
Right?
So crazy. Oh, man. Well, Elon Musk companies are having a little bit of a problem. Remember when I said, just wait until one of these giant semis, these electric semis, goes ahead and catches fire? Well, that didn't take long because here you go, guys.
No, we're not.
It's past commercial.
Yes. May I just say,
All right.
while we're like winding that in, people on
Yes.
YouTube, if you're watching, look in the memo, look in the description of this video on YouTube. You're going to find the link there. Okay? Everyone else, I know that Sandra's been on top of her audience, so everyone knows where to go with Sandra. That's fabulous. And do you want to take it from there?
Yes.
Go.
Ooh, dogs are getting in trouble.
Okay.
So if you guys want to join us for the rest of the show, make sure you guys head over to pilled.net and join us over there. We are going to continue the show exclusively on Pilled. So again, just search for No Prisoners Podcast. Those of you guys over on Rumble, you have a convenient link down there in the description to come and join us. Then we're going to get into this story about this Tesla semi crashing and catching fire in California, of all places, where, they already don't have water. So that's going to be a fun fire to put out. But we'll see you guys on the other side of this short video. If not, we will see you guys for Fun Friend Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. See you then. All right. Let me see here. I need to close this chat with Restream because it gets in the way of literally everything. Gosh, I can't stand this platform. All right. A Tesla semi crashed and caught fire on a California highway. A trailerless Tesla semi crashed and burned on the California side